What's up, guys? I hope everybody is doing well out there today. Today I want to talk a little bit about something. I talked to a friend of mine who lives here in Angeles City. He lives on the other end of Angeles City. He lives in an area where there's, I would say, pretty much all foreigners live there. Or the majority of the foreigners, I guess, that live in Angeles City live over in that area. It's a really nice area. A lot of like condos over there. A lot of, townhome type living over there. Very expensive. Some places are very expensive. The guy lives in a condo area. Really nice, gated community, swimming pool. I mean, you're paying some good money to live over there. I speak to this guy almost every day, if not every day, every other day. Kind of just talk about what's going on, what's new in the city, what has he learned, any good places to eat. I've known this guy probably for almost 2 years now, and he's not the kind of guy where, I guess you could say he's not a liar. I've never known him to be a liar. He's my age, give or take a few years, worked his whole life, retired, came over here. But like I said, we talk every day, if not every day, every other day. Anyways, he had sent me a letter from his property manager saying they have to renew their passes, their gate passes, ID cards, quarantine pass, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, he received this letter, and here it is. Let me show you. Here's what it says. It says, "Good day. The barangay informed the office that the tenant need a restricted ID. Costs 200 pesos. The resident ID will be presented to the station posts if they are going to buy your needs." Great English, huh? The green card is for travel pass if you have monthly appointments to the hospital outside the area. Fill up the new form, came from the barangay hall, and present a 1x1 ID picture. You could use the picture from the old form you have. Collections of payment and form in ID tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So they're saying you got to pay 200 pesos for your new ID card. And I asked him, I said, "Is this the same card you filled out, a couple months ago when they first started handing them out?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you pay anything for it then?" He said, "No." So, as far as I know, unless there's been a change, it was maybe a month or so ago, the mayor told the barangays, just quit passing out the quarantine passes. They suspended it. Now his property manager is telling him, "You got to renew it, and it costs you 200 pesos." And he said my friend said he was talking to the neighbor next to him, and they said they charged him 100 pesos. So he told me, he goes, "Something seems fishy." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "something does seem fishy." I said, if there's an order from the barangay that you got to pay X amount of dollars or X amount of pesos, there should be a attachment from the barangay on like some type of professional lettering that says, "Hey, we are charging this much." And not only that, the order has to come from the mayor's office. I said, it's somebody somewhere is trying to get money from you guys and you foreigners. I said, personally, I would take this letter, I'd go down to the barangay and I'd ask him. It's a good idea. So he went down to the barangay, walked in there. He said there was like 5 dudes in there. He showed him the letter. They all looked at it strangely, like, well, we don't know anything about this. One guy said, "No, that's not true." I said, "Okay, thank you very much." Went back to his condo, sent the property manager an email saying, "Hey, I was down there and I talked to them." They said, "No, that's not true. And we don't have to pay, nobody has to pay for any ID cards or quarantine passes or whatever you want to call it. That's not true." Property manager messaged him back and basically said, okay, well, that's up to you if you want to get it or not. So what they were telling him is, if you don't have this pass and you don't pay for this pass, you cannot leave the area you live in. In other words, the gate guards won't let you go through, which is bullshit. Somebody, now granted, we don't know who it is. Is it the barangay saying this? Of course, if you go down there, the barangay's going to say, no, we didn't say that. Because the barangay knows they cannot charge you for a quarantine pass. It's illegal. They can't charge you. Was it the property manager? Like I said, the area and the condo he lives in, there's a lot of expats, foreigners living there. They got money. Is he trying to get money out of them? We don't know. Somebody is. Of course, nobody's going to admit to it. But yeah, like I said, you know what? It wasn't, maybe a month or two ago. It was on the news here. Barangay captains in certain areas, not here in Angeles City, in another area, they were forcing people to pay for passes, and they got caught, and they got busted. If I'm not mistaken, they got thrown in prison. There's a Department of Interior Local Government, DILG. I'm reading this article. I'll put it down below. DILG to go after local access. DILG to go after local execs, barangay officials charging fees for passes, food stubs during enhanced community quarantine. The Department of the Interior and Local Government, DILG, warns it will go after abusive local government units and barangay officials who are taking advantage of the enhanced community quarantine to raise funds or for personal gain. I'm skipping some because some is in Tagalog. The DILG has been receiving reports that some barangay officials are issuing quarantine passes and selling them to their constituents. Some have also set up checkpoints on roads and highways to stop cargoes and food deliveries from passing through it without barangay issued passes. He says that some reports point to the barangay officials charging fees for food stubs and gate passes, which will give citizens access to go in and out of their homes and barangays to purchase basic needs. He says that no barangay officials has the authority to stop the movement of cargo or the delivery of food and other essential supplies in any part of the country. He said that if the barangay needs funds to address the COVID crisis, they shall seek help of their mayor or government and not charge their constituents. But that right there was DILG. DILG put that out. Like I said, he doesn't know. He doesn't know if it's a property manager. Because I mean, on that attached letter, you could see it's somebody printed it out on the computer, stapled it to the form that you have to fill out to get the ID. He don't know, but somebody is extorting foreigners and expats here in this area for quarantine passes. I mean, maybe you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I see it that way. Then he asked the property manager, why is it I talk to other people in other barangays and they're not required to get this? He said, oh, because that's the area you live in. The area you live in, you are required to get it. He kept spinning him. And when he did call him out on it, the guy didn't want to admit to it. He didn't want to admit either he was wrong or he was right. He kind of just basically spun it and said, well, if you don't want to get it, that's up to you. You know? And the sad part is, my buddy talked to people in the condo unit there, and guys paid for it. You know, people always say, oh, you shouldn't speak out. This isn't your country. You shouldn't speak out. Well, you know what? When you're being extorted for something, you have the right to speak out. You have the right to challenge it. The thing is, a lot of these expats, they just listen to what somebody's telling them, instead of questioning it, instead of investigating it, they just, okay, whatever. I mean, now granted, I have come to learn, living in the Philippines, and it's a given, especially in this area. Other areas might be different, that foreigners are always going to pay a little more for things. When you go to the markets, you're always going to pay a little more. You won't pay a little more if you go to the malls. The malls are set price. But I've come to accept that. And I've gotten to the point too where I've been here long enough where I'll always ask, can I get a better price? Can I get a cash price? But you always hear this, oh, well, don't say anything because you're a guest here. So if you're being extorted for, say, excuse me, millions and millions of pesos, shouldn't say anything because you're an expat here, you're a foreigner, you shouldn't say any. No, you have the right to say something. And you know what, if you're in that situation, even if you're a Filipino right now, or an expat living somewhere here in the Philippines, and you feel, you're being told you got to pay for a quarantine pass, man, contact DILG. The DILG has a website. They have a website. You can go onto it, and it breaks down where your offices are in the area you live. You can call and you can report these things. Matter of fact, they're asking you to. But don't be afraid. Like I said, my channel, I tell you the things that you will run into here. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I'm not trying to blow unicorn and fairy dust up your ass and tell you, look how beautiful the Philippines is. Don't get me wrong, the Philippines is beautiful. If you want that type of YouTube channel where they're going to sprinkle fairy dust and unicorn dust up your ass and rainbows and sunshine, go follow the travel vloggers. They'll sprinkle it all day long. I tell you what you're going to run into. The good still outweighs the bad. When you come here and you live here, the good still outweighs the bad. Now, there's some foreigners and expats come here and, man, they can't stand it. They're out the door. They can't stand it. But these are just some of the things you will run into. Now, you tell me, does it sound like somebody's trying to extort them for money or not? Yeah, it's only 200 pesos, depending. The other guy was charged 100 pesos the other day, same building. My buddy's charged 200. Yes, it's only 200 pesos. Is it much? No. But if you get 50, you get 100, or there's a group of people that are involved in this whole thing, and they're getting a couple hundred expats saying, oh, okay, here's 200, here's 200. That adds up quick. That adds up real quick. And somebody's making some quick money. Like I said, nobody will admit to it. But anyways, figured I'd put that out there. Let you guys know what I've come across. And once again, everybody just stay safe. Like I said, if something like this is going on with you, contact DILG. Let them know what's going on. And we'll talk to you later.